Thank you very much, Gary Danko. The Bob Valenti late models take the track right now. 50 laps the distance, and here's the starting lineup. Starting on the pole, the M&M Old School Emery Sand and Niemitzke Plumbing sponsored entry. It's Ashaway, Rhode Island's number 73. It's Joe Perry. Outside of him, driving the number 13 from Waterford, Connecticut, it is Anthony Macrino. On the inside of the second row will be the number 47. That is Plainfield, Connecticut's Tim Jordan. Outside of him, going into position number 4, it's the 36. That is Corey Hutchings. On the inside of the third row is the number 28, Larry's Auto Machine, Toyota of Westport as the sponsor. That is the 28 of Jay Lozniak. Starting in the 6th starting spot will be the number 2, that is Trumbull, Connecticut's Dwayne Knoll. On the inside of the 4th row, he is the 2005 track champion. The USS Chowder Pot is the sponsor of the Berlin, Connecticut's number 3, Mark St. Hilaire. And going off in the 8th starting spot will be the number 42, that is Preston's, Connecticut's Jay Stewart. Starting number 9 on the grid will be the 16, that is Dave Zemke from Guilford, Connecticut. And outside of him in the 10th starting spot is the number 12 for the Tom Shea Auto Body, the Tire Store, and Jared's Package Store. That's Waterford, Connecticut's Jonathan Avery. On the inside of row number 6, in the 11th starting spot is the number 77. That is the par 4 Benvenuti Oil sponsored entry. That's Quaker Hill, Connecticut's Richard Durante. And outside of him in the number 6, that is Larry Goss from North Windham, Connecticut.
A former mini stock champion will be starting in the 13th position, occupying car number 5. He's from Clinton, Connecticut, Glenn Colvin. Next door to him in car number 35, the man who was runner-up in the point standings a year ago from Groton, Connecticut. Bring it on, Bruce Thomas Jr. In the 15th position, a man making his first late model start here at the Speedbowl. We have seen him in the Legends cars. Today he's sponsored by Cross Street Properties, the Kitchen and Bath Showroom. His brother was a winner today, and now looking for a good performance is Vin Esposito. And lurking next to him in car number 7 from Deep River, Connecticut, in the Wheelan to Bucky Tree Service Atwood Auto Appearance car, it's Ed Field. And rounding out our field in car number 19, a driver who hails from Portland, Connecticut, Chandler Eccles. And that is our very talented field, ready to go to work in a 50-lap late model feature. To the green flag, here's Dave Barabalt.
Joe Perry and Anthony Macrino will bring them down for the start. Starter Chad Williams throws the green flag. Joe Perry gets the early jump as they head into turn number 1, but Macrino is right there on the outside, and Corey Hutchings jumps into the 3rd spot.
Corey Hutchings usually wastes no time to get moving. He tunnels underneath the 13 car of Macrino on his way to the front.
Hutchings now has got that 2nd spot. Now he looks to grab the 1st spot away from Perry as they go into turn number 1. He has gotten underneath Perry and will get the lead as they go down the backstretch from Joe Perry.
So in less than 2 laps, Corey Hutchings has gone from 4th to 1st as he tries to stretch it out against Joe Perry. Action in the middle of the pack. Mark St. Hilaire looking for racing room against Jay Lozniak. That is a battle for 5th place, and now Tim Jordan involved. So a little 3-wide scenario as they head into turn 3.
Lozniak looks to work the outside line on Jordan, but he has nothing there as Jordan is able to hold him off. But now Lozniak gets a bit of a run as they go into turn number 1 and inches his way out in front of that 5th spot.
A great slingshot move by Dwayne Knoll as he whistled his way underneath the 13 car of Macrino. Trouble for the 11 of Rick Gombos Jr. as he appears to be done for the afternoon. Corey Hutchings, meanwhile, is putting some breathing room between himself and Joe Perry.
Hutchings has about a 2-car length lead to Joe Perry, then will fall back to another 2-car lengths where Dwayne Knoll is riding in the 3rd spot. 4th is Anthony Macrino in the 13. 5th is Jay Lozniak, and 6th is the 47 of Timmy Jordan.
But the man everybody is looking at is running 7th, and that is a professor, Jay Stewart, back home at the Speedbowl. You know that song by Bon Jovi, Who Said You Can't Go Home? Well, Jay Stewart has returned home and is back on the bottom groove. Now he lurks up to the outside as he is surrounding Tim Jordan like sugar on a jelly donut as they head into turn 4.
Jordan holds that spot as they come to the stripe, but Stewart will get another run on the outside line. He falls back just a bit. That allows the 3 of St. Hilaire to close in, but Stewart regains and heads down the backstretch right on the back bumper of Timmy Jordan.
Boy, Tim Jordan in his first late model race is going up against a guy who has won more than 30 late model races here at the Speedbowl, Jay Stewart. Mark St. Hilaire also involved. A great battle right ahead of Timmy Jordan as Jay Lozniak is trying to hold off the 13 of Tony Macrino. Those two cars almost welded together, and now Lozniak finally breaks 3 and moves into 4th place.
Lozniak moves ahead, and now that allows the 47 of Tim Jordan to get a little bit of a run on Macrino as they go down the backstretch. Macrino is able to hold him off as they go into turns 3 and 4, but he'll slide up the embankment. That allows Jordan to get into a little bump into him. He gets a bump from behind from Stewart, and Stewart now on the outside of Jordan as they go into 1.
And Stewart, who would prefer to be down low, finds the outside groove is also to his liking as he infiltrates the top 5 right behind Macrino. Then Jordan, a good battle deeper in the pack as Dave Zemke in car number 16 is able to hold off 35 of Thomas. Now Mark St. Hilaire in trouble as he is into the turn 1 fence. So the defending champion, the SOS, goes out for Mark St. Hilaire.
A little bit of contact as they came off turn 4 between Larry Goss, the 47 of Jordan, and
he did today in the Budweiser Modified Nationals. Right now he is machine gun his way into an advantage over Joe Perry, and the man who is out of control, Dwayne Knoll, riding in 3rd. Here comes the professor, Jay Stewart.
Stewart has moved his way into the 4th position now, and also going around the outside of the 6 of Larry Goss is the 5 of Glenn Colvin. Trouble a little bit further back in the field as Chandler Eccles spins through the infield. He'll get it, keep us under green as we head back to the front now. The 36 of Hutchings is pulled out in front of the 73 of Perry.
And Glenn Colvin in car number 5, unable to stay with Larry Goss. Larry announced his retirement a couple of times last year, but there he is in car number 6. And one of his old cars, the 16, driven by Dave Zemke. Here is Stewart on the bottom. He has elbow room. He has the leverage. He is all over Perry like the shell on a peanut. And the 42 of Jay Stewart is moved into 3rd place.
He runs in 3rd. The 2 of Dwayne Knoll has got the 2nd spot. And way out in front of them is the 36 of Hutchings.
Then Esposito in trouble in turn 4. Yellow is out.
Esposito's looping it around as they come off turn number 4. The 36
flag racing. Corey Hutchings trying to get the advantage against Dwayne Knoll, and he does.
Hutchings gets the jump on Dwayne Knoll as they head into turn number 1. Jay Stewart on the inside of Joe Perry battles for that 3rd spot as they go down the backstretch. Larry Goss on the inside of Glenn Colvin as they go down the backstretch. And it's the 42 of Stewart inching his way out for that 3rd spot.
Stewart loves the bottom turn here at the Speedbowl. Larry Goss following him. A little bit of contact between Glenn Colvin and Joe Perry. And Perry goes to the outside. He is in no man's land. Drivers like Colvin, Durante, and Field pick up some spots.
Corey Hutchings still leads the way. Dwayne Knoll runs in the 2nd spot. He has Jay Stewart all over his back bumper looking to make the pass as they come off turn number 2. Knoll is able to hold him off as they go down the backstretch.
Jay Stewart wants the bottom. Knoll very grudgingly gives up the space. Something seriously wrong with the 73 car of Joe Perry as it has swallowed some speed bumps and is crawling into turn number 1. Now it is Larry Goss on the bottom trying to get underneath the 2 of Dwayne Knoll as Larry Goss close enough to yank the steering wheel out of the 2 car, but not close enough to take over the spot, and now he does.
Larry Goss looks to inch his way out in front, but now the 2 of Knoll pulls even and they're side by side as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. They head to the stripe, and Larry Goss has gained that 3rd position.
Tony Macrino, remember he had to make a pit stop, and now Perry, it looks like that car will run out of steam as it is marooned on the backstretch, bringing out a yellow flag with 31 eyeball to eyeball.
It is a heavyweight bout as they come off turn number 4. Corey Hutchings and Jay Stewart. Hutchings gets the early jump as they go into turn number 1. And Stewart has a little bit of problems getting up to power. That allows the 6 of Larry Goss to get a run underneath him, and they will be side by side, the 6 of Goss and the 42 of Stewart as they go into turn 3.
Larry was alert when Stewart took that stutter step, and now Lightning Larry Goss has moved into the number 2 position by centimeters over the 42 of Stewart. Great battle for 4th and 5th. Knoll gets out of shape. Wozniak scoots his way into the number 4 spot.
And that also allows the number 5 of Glenn Colvin to get a run on the inside. Here comes the number 3 of Mark St. Hilaire also on the inside as they go to the stripe.
You see the left front of the St. Hilaire car almost caved in, but that isn't preventing him from moving his way through the field The 3 laser beams his way into the top 7. Corey Hutchings able to carve open some real estate between himself and the Goss-Stewart combination for second and third.
Goss and Stewart run for second and third as they go down the backstretch. Fourth runs the 28 of Jay Lozniak. Fifth is the 5 of Colvin. And sixth right now is the 3 of Mark St. Hilaire.
Well, Colvin all over Lozniak like pine needles on a Christmas tree. Will it be a holiday for Colvin as he tries to nudge his way into the number 4 spot? And Glenn Colvin, taking over the ride, driven last year by Carl Erickson, has invaded the top 4.
Running in fifth is the 28 of Lozniak. Then comes sixth is the 3 of St. Hilaire. Anthony Macrino runs 7th in the 13th, and all the way back in 8th is the 2 of Dwayne Knoll.
And the 16 of Dave Zemke trying to hold his own. It's been a frustrating day so far for the 35 of the Battleship, Bruce Thomas, as he is almost a half a track behind our leader, Corey Hutchings. Larry Goss, a little bit of separation between himself and Jay Stewart. Larry Goss has had his ups and downs at the Speedbowl in recent years, but when he is up and at his peak, he is very tough to beat, as Jay Stewart is finding out.
Hutchings has about a 5-car length lead as they come to strike, completing lap number 27 in today's 50-lap event. Running in second is the 6 of Goss. Stewart closes in a little bit on him in that 3rd spot. Then we bounce back about 10-car lengths to the number 5 of Colvin. The 28 of Lozniak runs 6th, and the 3 of St. Hilaire.
Bruce Thomas starting to come to life as he went underneath Dave Zemke to pick up a spot. So the car looks much steadier for the 35 of Thomas. Meanwhile, Jay Stewart on the outside of Goss couldn't make it happen that time.
Stewart nailed to the back bumper of Goss as they come across the line. He looks to the outside this time by and turns number 1 and 2. Goss is able to hold him off as they go down the backstretch. Still holding on that 2nd spot is Larry Goss as they go into 3.
A little bit of contact as a 6, a little wiggling courtesy of the 42 of Stewart. So has the lead, but all over his back bumper like a trailer hitch is Jay Stewart, now taking off to the outside. Will that be the way Stewart can get around Larry Goss?
Stewart looks to angle his way around the outside line here at the Speedbowl and power his way into that 2nd spot. He does complete that move as they go into turn number 1. That drop kicks the 6 back into the 3rd position, and now Jay Lozniak is underneath the 5 of Colvin as they go down the backstretch.
Well, apparently Jay Stewart agrees with Alan Coates. There is an outside groove here at the Speedbowl, and Stewart has just found it. Glenn Colvin is trying to find it as well in his personal battle against Jay Lozniak. So 2 of the younger competitors in this division, Lozniak and Colvin, they are almost handcuffed together as they hit the 4th turn.
Side by side, Lozniak and Colvin come around in front of the grandstands. Lozniak with a little bit of an edge as they go into turn number 1. And closing in on that battle is the 3 of St. Hilaire, who's worked his way all the way up to the 6th spot.
Now it is Macrino right behind him, and Dwayne Knoll, who had been as high as 2nd place in this race, settling for 8th. They are still crowbarred together. The 28 of Lozniak and the 5 sharing the same shoulder harness as they head into turn number 3. Trouble for Lozniak. Hits and trouble again for St. Hilaire as Lozniak drifted up the racetrack. And the driver who couldn't get out of the way was Mark St. Hilaire. Tony Macrino also involved. But we saw Lozniak get sideways and out of shape between turns 3 and 4. And Mark St.
So they tried to surprise me, and I insisted on coming here, but I went there instead.
Okay, that's words from Kenny Horton. It sounds like green flag is back up in the air.
No surprise in a restart as Corey Hutchings, like he was shot off Cape Canaveral, gets the edge over Stewart. Larry Goss battling it out for 3rd and 4th with Glenn Colvin.
Colvin inches his way around the outside and gets that 3rd spot. Now he'll set off after the leader, Corey Hutchings, and Jay Stewart running 2nd as they go down the backstretch.
Bruce Thomas trying to get on the outside of Knoll, thought better of it, tucks it back in behind him. A skirmish deeper in the field. Durante, 77, Jay Lozniak in the 28. Macrino is right there. And the damaged 3, all in the battle for 7th place.
Lozniak now holds off that battle as they go down the backstretch. On the outside, Macrino inches his way past Durante, but Durante's able to hold forth and get a run on the inside. Now takes both Lozniak and Macrino as they come around this time.
Something obviously wrong with the 16 car of Dave Zemke, as that engine looks to be impoverished as it hobbles around the inside of the track. Corey Hutchings stretching out his lead over Stewart. The best battle on the racetrack right now is for third and fourth. That's where Glenn Colvin and Larry Goss hanging out. It looks like Colvin has the more power, but Larry Goss has better handling on the inside groove, and that's why that confrontation is so tight. Dwayne Knoll trying to make it a threesome.
Colvin is stuck on the outside as Goss runs his way down the inside. He gets that third spot as they go down the back stretch, and now going into turn number 3, Dwayne Knoll looks to leave Colvin on the outside and get the fourth spot away from him.
Bruce Thomas moving up quickly, trying to join Colvin, Knoll, as we have yellow out on the speedway. So the race is on hold as Mark St. Hilaire's frustrating afternoon gets even more so. Late model feature, Corey Hutchings dueling with Jay Stewart. Hutchings by a quarter of a car as they hit the stripe. Stewart will tuck it in behind him.
And Stewart is right there now, getting a big run on the outside is the number 2 of Dwayne Knoll as they go into turn numbers 3 and 4. He is on the outside of Hutchings and looks to put up a battle as they come to the stripe, this time by.
Where did Dwayne Knoll come from? As he came from the twilight zone to challenge Jay Stewart for second. However, he can't hold his speed, and Stewart does.
Stewart is able to gain that second spot now. Larry Goss on the inside of Knoll battling for that third spot. He will take wrested away from him, and now Glenn Colvin looks to the inside of Knoll, who's locked on that outside line.
Well, Dwayne Knoll made a gamble, trying to catch everybody napping with a power move on the outside. However, it is not paying off. Glenn Colvin is going to duck his way underneath the 2 car to move into fourth. Corey Hutchings able to lengthen his lead over Jay Stewart with less than 7 laps remaining. Now Colvin solidifies his advantage over Dwayne Knoll. Also moving up, Jay Lozniak as he moved ahead of Bruce Thomas.
And back up at the front of the run, it is the 36 of Hutchings leading the way. The 42 of Jay Stewart runs in the second spot. 5 car lengths back will be the 6th of Larry Goss. Running 4th is the 5 of Colvin, and Dwayne Knoll looks to get another run at Colvin as they come around this time by.
A typical run by Corey Hutchings. On Saturday, when a lot of drivers were just hanging around, his crew was working on the car, trying to get every bit of edge that they could find. Stewart out of shape in turn 4. A magical mystery tour for Jay Stewart as he continues to lose ground in his quest to track down Corey Hutchings.
Hutchings just begins to pull away from that 42 as they go down the backstretch. Now that'll allow Larry Goss to get a bit of a run on him as he runs in the third spot. The battle right now is for the 4th and 5th positions as Dwayne Knoll looks to inch his way underneath the 5 of Colvin as they go into turn number 1. Knoll gets a bit of a run. He looks to wrest that spot away and does as they go down the backstretch. So Knoll runs in the 4th spot. That drop kicks the 5 of Colvin to 5th. Jay Lozniak runs in the 6th spot. And in 7th is the 35 of Bruce Thomas. 2 laps remain. It's the 36 of Corey Hutchings still leading the way. The 42 of Jay Stewart runs 2nd. The 6 of Larry Goss in 3rd. The 2 of Dwayne Knoll is 4th. And the 5 of Glenn Colvin runs 5th. One more time around for the 36 of Corey Hutchings. He has led everything but the initial 2 laps. Hutchings brings the 36 down the backstretch and into turn 3. He will bring it off turn number 4 and take the checkered flag as today's late model feature event winner. In 2nd is the 42 of Jay Stewart. Finishing 3rd is the 6th of Larry Goss. The 2 of Dwayne Knoll runs 4th. The 5 of Glenn Colvin 5th. Then Jay Lozniak at the 28 6th.
And the guy coming to the start-finish line, the driver of car number 36, Corey Hutchings. So Corey, the big story, Hutchings started 4th, and in less than 2 laps, he moved his way to the lead, and nobody was able to catch him today in our 50-lap feature. So Corey said he was going to be here on a periodic basis at the Speedbowl in 2006, but of course that could change after just an awesome run here in our 50-lap feature. So he is taking off his safety device, and once again the 50-lap late model feature in the Budweiser Modified Nationals belongs to Corey Hutchings. Well, Corey, you didn't wait around today from 4th to 1st in 2 laps. How were you able to pull it off?
Well, the hole opened on the bottom there, and Joe Perry gave me a little bit of room. I got my nose in there. We got an awesome car, awesome motor in it from Billy the Kid. I got to thank Head and Insurance for coming on board this week. They're a big help. And always Perry Lathrop Collision Center. I mean, they let us help work on the car in their garage and stuff, and I can't thank them enough because without them, we couldn't do this.
And by being in the lead, you were able to avoid all the carnage today behind you.
Yeah, it's a little rough sometimes the first race of the year. Everybody's itchy. You know, it's been 6 months and everybody's been in a car. I'm great. I'm happy to be at Waterford Speedbowl. I'm glad this place is open. I hope everybody comes out and supports this place. I mean, I can't thank this place enough. This is 10 years for the Nationals, and I think this is my 4th win with it. And I've been coming here every year for the last 10 years. So I keep my streak alive 10 years in a row with a win.
And 4 victories for this man, Corey Hutchings.